Hello. My name is Ebony, and I represent ENDTs and Ebony Onyx.
And I'm Stephanie, representing I'm Aware. And together
we make Group Economics. See the shirts. See them shirts. See them. So, our ultimate goal
is networking with like-minded successors to accomplish economic growth by helping others attain skills because it's absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary. Like what more than we need to do is to help each other.
Help one another.
Yeah, we don't want to be crabs in the barrel. We want to help people succeed.
Definitely.
That's our ultimate goal. And in this, we decided we're a t-shirt company. As you can see, we make t-shirts.
Yes.
I have my own company. Ms. Jones has her own company.
Yes.
But together we have a company, and we say, no, we don't want to just do shirts. We want to help our community.
Yes, help one another. Absolutely. And it's starting with us, 100%. Definitely starting with us. So we're here to give a whole new, fresh content from our perspective to help you all gain a better perspective.
So what we did was, instead of just having printing t-shirts, we like, let's help our community. Mm-hmm. And the way we're going to help our community, we said, like, we want to do some things, not just print shirts. So these shirts that we print, if you buy a shirt, that goes towards some of our events, and we're going to talk about those later.
Yes,
we have a warm weather wear, and we have a mobile Friendsgiving that we do every November and December around the holiday season.
Yes.
You know, everybody's in need sometimes. So everybody's had a need. So we're just looking to help those that are less fortunate and need those essentials and need a warm meal for the holidays.
Right.
Yeah. So if you buy a shirt, those proceeds goes towards those events.
100%.
And then we said, let's make it even bigger. Let's not just do shirts. Let's start talking about some of the stuff that we don't talk about in our community.
Right.
Like,
we hide so much back. It's just little groups that's talking about, no, we want to bring this to the world.
We want to shed light on some issues. And our main goal for our podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it, YouTube channel, well, our main topic is going to be about perception. So perception is it's how and it drives our life's decisions and choices. Perception stems from our knowledge base. It stems from our beliefs. It stems from our education, our experiences, and just your exposure to certain things that have happened to you in your life. So your perception can be changed. You might see something one way, and a person might see it the next way. And y'all might have been right in the same room. You ever heard the game telephone? You ever
getting the message all mixed up.
Yeah.
Room, like, where did it
Somebody
go wrong?
talking about purple pineapples, and you like, that's not what I said. I just needed new socks. Like,
that's a big misunderstanding there for sure. Yeah.
And it's perception. You can see a newscaster go talk to one person and talk to the other person, and there's two different perspectives of what happened. Yeah. And it could be just an accident, and they can be like, I seen the car doing 100 miles per hour, and he flipped and he turned, and the other one might be like, well, he was going the speed limit, and this car came out of nowhere and just hit him. So everybody has their own perception, and it's based off of your beliefs, your knowledge, your experiences, just your environment that you're in. Yeah. Your environment can change your perception.
It will, and it can.
Yeah, and it's these things are the foundation to your perception, and they're what drive you and how we view people, how we deal with people, and just the things on how we deal with our normal day-to-day based issues. Like, absolutely. It could be from just like me and Miss Jones had this thing where I used to get up. I'm a early riser. I don't like the mornings.
Yeah.
I don't like them. Yeah. But my job I like to. I like my job to get in and get out. I can get up at 6:00 and be home by 2:30. So I like that. And then if I were to call her at like 8, she gonna be
like, hold on a second, let me go brush my teeth and get ready for this conversation.
That's not how she would be. She'd be like, I'm not up. That's early. 6:30 is early to her. Whereas
8:00 coming, you in your second meeting.
I'm in my third, and then 6:30 is late to me. 6:30 is early to her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's changed now a little bit with our roles and the things that we do now, and just the environments that we in and the jobs that we have now. However, our perception was, when I would call her, is like, why are you calling me this early, Ed? And I'm like, my bad. I'm up. Yeah. I'm wide awake.
Up. Right.
Like, I'm going. Like, I could have been off 4 hours of sleep. I'm still up at 6 because my body's conditioned to that. Where hers was, that's too early, Ed.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
She can call me 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, man, I'm drowsy, like barely talking. And to her, that's
what's going on?
Right, that's wide awoke. To me, that's like, man, it's late, man. I'm getting tired.
So you know what?
I don't want to do no more. I'm tired. My brain cells are starting to shut down. Like, so
it's over it. Yeah.
Perception is literally, you can be in, we're kind of from the same areas. We grew up in the same areas, went to the same schools, shall I say. Yeah. But we went to the same schools, and even though we went to the same school, our perception was still different.
100%. I agree. We had the same friend base, but then different in a sense because we moved and worked in different settings that were not the same when it came to school.
Your environments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then belief systems, and that's just different things. Right. And then just like our experiences that we had, the different experiences that we had. And even though you could take two people in the same neighborhood and they might have experienced two different things, have two different beliefs based, raised in two different environments, because your household, your family life is another thing that can drive your perception.
Right.
Yeah. So our perception today, we want to touch on how our perception can create thugs. Yes. And we ain't talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony. We ain't talking about them rappers. No. We're not about them. We ain't talking about them thugs. We're not talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. We talking about East 99. We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about. We from Cleveland. Right. But we're not talking about East 99, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Shout out to Crazy Bone. I'm glad you're getting better. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about thug. What is a thug, Ms. Jones?
So thug is a traumatized human unable to grieve.
Got that?
Traumatized human unable to grieve.
Yeah.
Is a thug. So being unable to go through certain situations because of your trauma.
Cope. Not knowing how to cope through those situations. Not knowing how to deal with certain things. Right. And again, this is all based off of your perception. Can drive you to become a thug. So we might have all been a thug at some point in time. We all have been traumatized by certain things. Like I personally, the summertime,
triggers.
Yeah, like the summertime, a lot of people like, oh, the summer barbecues. It kind of, I'm a little bit hesitant because I've had a brother that was killed during the summertime. I've had a cousin that was killed during the summertime. So at the end of the day, it's like, ooh, it's gonna be more people out and more killings. Yeah. To me for summer. So summer is not a happy trigger to me. It's more of a like, ooh, like
cautious in a sense.
Yeah. Whereas Ms. Jones might be traumatized by she might not like pears. I don't know. It could be anything.
Fruit. Yeah. The different triggers definitely come from your five senses. What you're looking at, from what you hear to what you even taste. Like she just said, pears. As well as to a different touch. So those traumas come from many different places, but the common denominator will be your family, your family unit, your peers, the people you hang around with, as well as being in public. Yeah. All those exposures are based off of your perception, your own personal perception.
They help mold your perception. They help mold how you're going to think going forward. They help mold, and it's crazy because you can raise 2-3 kids in the same household, and their perceptions are totally different. Yeah. You're gonna hear a lot of stories. We got boys, we're boy moms, and we got dogs, and significant others and stuff like that. So you'll hear a lot of little stories we'll tell. Shouts out to our fam. Don't be mad because y'all gonna be on here a lot. Right. You might even get to see some of our teenagers because we have a lot of teenagers within our home. We got one that's not a teenager. He pre-teenish, so
they all hitting that mark though. Pre-teen, teen, definitely. Yeah. And it's a whole different walk of life. So I'm glad about that, to avoid traumatized humans unable to grieve in my household. We could kind of stop and eliminate certain things based off of our own perception.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're very passionate about is we have young males, like we said. So we're really passionate about our males. Not saying we don't want our females. We want you to get help because we're not self-proclaimed.
No.
And we're not saying we're the top. We know everything. But what we are saying is that we did go get some help. We did go do some parenting classes. We are seeking some help. Counseling. Yes. That is a big thing that's a big stigma.
Ain't no shame my way.
Man, it's a big stigma in the Black community.
I want to help myself so I can help others.
Yeah, so what we're encouraging people to go get help. There's a lot of people out here that are traumatized and they're unable to grieve, so they don't know how to deal with things. So they might lash out. They might disappear. They're not even lashing out. Some people think because I walked away and didn't say nothing that I'm not traumatized. No, that's a traumatized experience.
That's shutting down is traumatized. Fight or fight.
That is definitely a response, a traumatized trigger response, because what are you solving by walking away? Yeah, you walked away, but did you deal with the issue? Mm-hmm. Because if it's still in the back of your mind, or you're still using it, or you're still harboring it, that's a traumatized human unable to grieve. So we're trying to help you guys not be traumatized human beings. We're not saying
and solutions is what we're here for. Like we want to talk about it, but we want to focus on coping mechanisms, what fits you, and also solutions, because we didn't make it this far to get where we are to talk about it just to say and harp on what we not doing right, what's going wrong. No. We helping y'all because we've got the help. So we just
we still get the help we need. Yeah. So we're just bringing awareness to the issue, and we want to bring up this issue, and we want to help people help themselves. Yes. So if you have never spoken, I know it's taboo in the Black community. I don't know if we're gonna talk about that, but it's taboo. Like, don't get no help. I was just talking to somebody the other day.
Keep it in the household. In the household,
like don't
so
say
toxic.
Nothing.
Like you can't do that. You have to be open. To open yourself up for many different situations, or if you have, then expose it in the right format in your household. Don't be toxic. Hey, you know what, Neff, or sis, or brother, my daughter, my whoever. I've been through this when you were younger.
Right.
My mama told me this, but I want to help you.
Right.
Things like that. But we definitely have a bad stigma. Mm-hmm. And just want to keep everything closed in, and that's why we walking around with so many hurt people right now.
That's hurting people, because people hurt people.
Definitely.
And if you don't believe it, I'm pretty sure I was one of the people that hurt people before, because I was hurt.
I have to.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah. From my mouth, it don't even have to be your hands, because your mouth is strong.
Yeah, or your face.
Or your right. No, seriously. Yeah.
We sarcastic too. That's like our second language. We've been friends forever.
Oh,
so
my bad.
your face might say it before my mouth say it. Yeah. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking I'm doing great.
You're gonna get a double whammy this way, but I'm working on it. Working on it.
Right. So we just want to bring that up and let everybody know, like, that is something that we want everybody to work on. I was actually Bible study last night. I'm all about the belief, I'm a big believer. Like I said, beliefs is something that drives it, and this is something that helped me too, is I got rooted in God, and I'm not going to knock nobody's beliefs, but I got rooted in God, and that helped me. And we just talked about in Bible study last night, like, you didn't ask your mama what she was doing when she was younger. You ain't asked your aunties and uncles, and you wasn't sitting around no adults when they was having adult conversations. Right. You wasn't nowhere in the room, and if you was shutting up and turning your mouth. You was to be seen and not heard at all.
Right. and that's the interesting nowadays, because our kids are so exposed to everything. I prefer to, come on and sit in this conversation. It's limits to it, and their age plays a big part of it. But if you feel that it can help, bring them in.
Yeah, we don't want to hide stuff. So, and what we talked about yesterday, because they were asking, like, well, how do I get my God kids? They're looking at us like, oh, this God, we can't do nothing, so we just don't want to be. We don't, because they were so worried about what they couldn't do. They wasn't looking at the benefits and the solution. So they were just looking at, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't want it.
Like, what can you do? You have to figure, you got to dig deep.
Like, wait a minute, you talking about what you can. When I got rooted in God, it's so funny. Like, I used to kick it. I told this story last night, so I ain't ashamed to say it again. I used to kick it. And don't get me wrong, I was shutting the clubs down. I'm talking about I was promoting for parties, and I was going to parties. I'm talking about it was mornings I woke up and I didn't even know, like, how did I get home?
She made it this far.
But how did I get home? Yeah. Let's not act like you ain't never been in that position before. Maybe y'all all is like, y'all been saved and sanctified all y'all lives or something.
I mean, my granddaddy is a pastor. Granddaddy. So he is a pastor. Elder Matthew Jones. I mean, so I grew up in the church, morning, noon, night, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturday. Revivals.
That's the whole week.
Taught my grandma.
That's the whole week.
Her soul was a missionary, state supervisor. Oh, I was glad when I became the age, no lie, that I didn't have to go to church. Like, it was kind of like the choice, like, oh, we're not even gonna wait on to get dressed, or we'll move. Other circumstances happen, but
deuces.
Yeah. So, but I was in the streets for 10 years, and came back and still saw the good, and I can now pull from my solutions and being a thug and pull from both ends.
Yeah.
Both ends, definitely. Church and street.
And just know, just